but you know, we still did that card exchange
Like the point, just going to be later.
because that's for me. That's something I want.
So that's important
it's not
for
for
you.
him. It's not important.
So you believe that a man has a role to play? Listen, hold that thought. I want to try and get the show started. We need to get the show started. We're gonna get going now. Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Cool.
okay.
YouTube's locked in. Shout out to everyone who's locked in on
Hi,
Facebook.
guys.
Right. Grown Ass Men in the building. Make some noise. If you lock no. Did she say I'm women?
Yes, and women.
No, I'm playing. Right. Listen. Let's introduce who we've got inside today. Should we start off with the ladies?
Hi, I'm Denise Berry.
I'm Bianca.
And then we go from the end and we come around.
Yeah, cool. You know who it is. It's Darren, Mr. D, whoever, whatever.
What's going on, people? Rick's here. It's good.
Yeah, you know, it's the Pan-African, aka Dwayne.
And obviously you got myself, host of the show, Craig. Let's get the topic out there. Right, so we're going to talk about Happy Valentine's Day for all the ladies, all the guys, and all them people who do that lovely stuff together. That's fantastic.
Sorry,
That's
can I
brilliant.
say that? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Happy Valentine's Day to the ladies.
Did he really just do that?
That voice as well.
He did it.
You practice that, bro.
No, I was just about to say,
You practice that, innit?
that's way too
Do you
soon.
do
You knew
Valentine's?
that was happening. You knew
Do
that
you
was
do
happening.
I
Valentine's
don't,
with that
but if I
voice?
did it,
Right, listen, let's get the topic out there and let's get talking. Right, first of all, everyone who's locked in, please like and share, leave comments. We're trying to get to as many as we possibly can. And the topic for today is equality in relationships. Darren, you put a little video out there, yeah? Darren looked at me like, bruh, don't put me on the spot. Bruh.
I wasn't ready
But
for
no,
that.
just in terms of putting the actual topic into some sort of context so we can start a little discussion. What does equality in relationships mean to you?
Problems.
Okay. Yeah?
That's what I mean. But just so that everybody gets a broader idea of what the topic is, it's just basically, all right, in today's day and age, the dynamics of relationships have changed somewhat, and women are now more prevalent in relationships in terms of providing, being more of kind of having a direction for the family, whereas that solely used to be kind of the man's role. And so the question kind of is, how does that have an effect on relationships, the dynamic of relationships now? Is that kind of leading to where we are in terms of last show we was talking about marriage? Marriage is not lasting the test of time. Does this have an impact in terms of women wanting equality? Is equality in a relationship a good thing?
Right. Ladies, what does equality in relationships mean to you, and do you think it should exist? Let's kind of put it out there. Let's you know, put the cat out of the bag or whatever.
Okay, firstly, sorry, I'm going to say, I think, obviously, the equality, there's levels to it and it's a balance. So, you know, it's not a financial thing that I earn this much and you need to earn that much. It's not, you know, there's levels to it, and it's the balance that you have in the relationship. I feel that's what equality is. I wouldn't want my man not to be working, but if he wasn't working, then you have to, what else are you bringing to the table? That's like equality. I'm bringing this to the table, what are you bringing to the table? So to me, that's what equality is. I'm not going to nitpick on what it actually, like,
So the actual roles
levels.
and
Yeah, the roles of, you know, well, you do all the housework, because back in the day, obviously, women are at home and they're taking home, take care of their house, and the men are there out earning the money.
So you think that there should be roles then? Should there be roles in a relationship?
No, I think balance, like between yourselves, that, you know, what works for each other is communicate. As long as you have that communication in a relationship, then that's where I think then you found that balance.
Well, what about yourself? Relationship. Do you think there should be equality? Totally equal,
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah, I do. I stand definitely on the side of equality for two reasons, really. One, because I think that in this day and age, if we're looking at the average wage that people earn, being somewhere in the region of £28,000, I don't think it's financially viable for just one person to be bringing in that type of wage anymore, because times have changed. And also, in terms of looking at how things used to be done and the roles that men and women used to play, so the man being the provider and the woman being the one who takes care of the home, I think that sometimes when you've got roles that are so different, it can breed problems because you don't have that mutual understanding and respect for what the other person bringing to the table sometimes, right? So sometimes women don't appreciate what it takes to go out and provide, not just on a financial term, but what that does to you mentally, having that responsibility of feeding your family. And sometimes men don't really respect what it takes to be at home, raise children, look after the home, cook and clean.
This is a very good point.
Yeah, these are good points, but this is my person. I don't think there should be a point.
I personally
I don't think there should be.
when
And
it comes
it's
to
looked
women,
at as a negative.
what's
equality for me with women
Yeah.
is when it suits. I don't think that
Because to be
across
honest,
the board.
just go straight
It's
in.
when
Go
it's
straight in.
Okay, so what do you mean by
I don't
that?
think that you don't look as women, not
Yeah.
just you in particular, as women. I don't think you look for quality across the board. I think you look pick and choose where it suits you.
Okay, so
And
where
I
then
say
you
that
think
because-
we look
What
for
do you mean?
equality?
Break that down for me.
What I say that is because if, for example, we all go out and come back picking up bags of shopping, you expect me to carry that, yeah? Or if there's a big heavy bag, you expect me to pick that up.
Or if we go on a date, you expect me to.
Yeah,
pick up the
it's not. It's
not
it's
So
not.
I don't think
I think
that's
the
like-
pay
I
thing.
think
I think the
that
pay
is-
thing is
yeah.
is
It's
gone.
like it's
and that's another
Yeah,
reason
that's
why I
it.
say the pay thing is maybe gone a little bit is because there is more equality, like it was said, in terms
Yeah.
of pay, how people are paid, who's got
Yeah.
what. It's not where it used to be.
Not where it
used
might be.
Yeah, it
But
used
I
to be in the
don't
point
think- I
of
still
a man goes out and provides and a woman just
On the
stays at
first
home.
date, you're
Not
expecting
like
a man
that.
to
I
pay.
think.
No,
I
I
think.
don't
women-
even
I
think
don't-
that's
I
the
don't even
case
think
no
that there's
more,
anything
because
wrong
then,
with
you
having
know,
those
you'll go out-
traditions.
I don't even
I
think
don't think
I
that's
don't
the
think
case.
it's not
It's
the
not
case.
about-
I
it's
don't
not about
think
tradition.
they're traditional. They're old traditional things.
But they're not equal.
What I'm saying, it's not equal. But you know, you expect. But I think this day and age, no, nobody goes out and expects. You're not going to go out on a date and expect the man to foot your bill. I don't think nobody does that no more. Like as a
You'd be
woman,
surprised.
you
Definitely,
don't.
definitely still
I
have.
don't
No, I
think
think
that
it's
they
definitely
have that
different.
thought process. Whether it happens, you fault the bill, then that's a different story. But nobody goes out. Everybody's got their like Bex money, like you know, right? You're going on a date. Imagine if he asked for the money.
See, imagine.
So
See,
bad.
see, more than you.
Oh,
Imagine if he asked. See, that's exactly.
bro.
Look how you put it. Look how you put it down.
Right, so
You
that's
have
my
it,
point.
but,
It's
you know,
still an
But
expectation.
you're expecting to pay
Yeah,
for it.
no. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm gonna go
So
out
how
on
did
a
you work
date
that
and I'm gonna. No. I'm just saying. I'm doing a general, right? I'm not talking about myself. If I'm gonna talk about myself, I'm gonna say to you, right, we're going halves, or I'm gonna say to you, right, I'm forking a bill, like just to kind of show off, maybe. Like, all right, I got this.
Okay.
We're cool. I got you.
But
I'm
that
gonna show you
would,
that.
wouldn't you accept
But-
that would be out of the normal to do? Surely that you and obviously
I
you've got to kind
don't
of put
think
your
in
mindset
this
like
day
you're
and
single,
age
but
it is. I just
Yeah?
think in this day and age it's not. I think we're both gonna not this day and age because everybody's
a woman will take a man out like, yeah,
Not-
we're going on a date. And
That is like so.
Yeah,
like,
I
that's
know,
the
listen,
norm.
listen,
I think
I
that's
know,
more- I think
I know if
that
I
happens.
go on
To
if I
me,
go on a
I think
date
that's
with a
more
girl,
than-
I know if I go on a date with a girl and I've met and she's paid, without a doubt, when she's gone home, she's sending WhatsApp messages.
Yeah.
Don't think this guy.
100%.
Yeah.
No,
Without a doubt,
yes.
that's not going on the radar.
And
like
you have
it's
to
nothing.
think this is generally what women would do. Let me just take it to the stream quickly.
I
Right.
totally agree.
See, Carlina said, I feel no way to pay for his meal. Right, hold on to that. Everyone was like, yeah, fantastic.
She's like that.
The point is,
True.
it's not even the point, like, I feel no way to pay for it. It's the point that you have to kind of, why does that have to be stated? Why
Why
does-
why
it's
did you
not
why
the
did you
norm.
why
It's
did
not
you
the
subject
norm.
matter?
Yeah.
Why did you
I
subject
don't-
matter?
I
That's
think
why.
it's equal.
Yeah, but
It
that's
doesn't
why.
matter.
I'm
It's
talking about
equal.
quality, but unfortunately,
It's-
like, we've all grown up on this. Men will do that. So a lot of women will go out with the pretense that men are looking after their woman, innit? That's how it is, and that's how it was basically. For that, you know, the
Look,
man's
so
the
let's-
sole
let me-
provider. He, you know, so everybody has this kind of pretense that, right, we're going out on a date, a man's gonna. I'm saying, but this day and age, I do not think that women go out expecting a man to pay.
Women
I
got
think
to
you're
and
delusional
if
about
they,
doing
and
that.
you know,
I think you're
if
wrong.
they
You don't know enough women.
Yeah.
I clearly know more women than you.
Yeah, for me, I think it's like, in terms of that point, I think that women do expect men to pay. And I think it's not just about, from the financial point of view, I think it's just about how men show interest and how they're known showing interest in you and place a value on spending that time with you. That's how I see it.
But my point would be, if you guys want, because I'm saying, let me just kind of put my viewpoint on this. I don't think that there should be equality. Don't fix what's not broken. Yeah, I think a man should court a woman. Yeah, and it shouldn't be the other way around. Would you guys propose to would you get down on one knee and propose to your partner? No, you wouldn't do it. So
like I
So
said,
then it can't be equality.
when it suits it, innit?
Exactly.
We're talking
Because you
about
want
in
to
the
keep.
relationship here.
Yeah, but this is in the relationship.
Is
This is
full.
all in it.
Yeah.
No,
I believe
no,
that.
I
Because I
wouldn't.
think that's about how you pursue a woman. Like men are known to be the hunter then.
Right. So
right?
you're
Women are
so you're saying there's a
known
difference
to
between
be-
dating and then the relationship. So you're saying that you portray one thing in when you're dating, but then you portray something else when you're in a full relationship.
No, it's not about betrayal. It's about
What
how
is it,
people
Joel?
pursue
What's it
things. Like me personally, I wouldn't go out there and pursue a guy in that way and ask to take him out on a date and ask to wine and
That would
dine
be
him.
so
It's
refreshing.
just not.
But
It may be refreshing, but it's
Why
just not
not?
something that
But,
I would
but
do.
let's get to the crux of that. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, that's
It's
the
never
main
been
thing.
within me to do it, and I don't actually feel like that is, in terms of that thing with women and men, I don't think that is a woman's place to do.
Right, so you don't
Exactly.
believe in equality.
So
This
this
is
is
all
what
about
I do.
places and roles.
So when it
I
suits
believe
you,
in equality.
when it suits you.
Yeah, fine. When it's
And this is what I'm saying.
when it suits me, it's okay.
For me.
But you have to look at relationships as you're talking about pursuing, and you mentioned earlier about carrying bags and things like that, right? These things are. I don't think these are the topics that make or break a relationship. Who paid on the date or who carried the bags? I think it's about the actual foundation of the relationship, how it's built, and how does that transpire once you're together. And I definitely don't think that it's viable to have
Sorry.
that traditional way of doing things, unless in the instance that the man's earning a lot of money, you might say, okay, then it is financially viable. So what's the argument then? The argument then is when you bring children into a relationship, a lot of what they learn is by what they see as well, right? And I just can't foresee that in generations to come, women are going to have that option. Now, we're in a time where there are some men that can do that and there are some men that can't.
Yeah.
As times go on, I don't think that option will be available to women to say whether or not they want to work just because
I'm
of
with
how
you. I agree
the
with
economy is
that.
going.
Yeah,
So then,
yeah.
how do you teach the children then to then, you know,
yeah.
that
I 100% get it is a little bit maybe deeper than the question kind of first looks. I do 100%. I get that. Let me just read out a couple of comments and then we're gonna delve into it. I'll let you two fight out who's gonna speak next.
already there.
Right.
Say something.
Louisa said, I feel that it's mostly equal. However, if you were to get your house broken into, women expect men to protect them, not the other way round.
Check who's downstairs, babe.
Imagine that, pulling the covers. Come back to that. Come on.
Nice.
That's a man's job, and I think this is what I'm saying. There should be roles within a relationship. It might be looked at as a negative. I might be looked at as a caveman.
No, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, can I just make this point? Okay, so is that but you're looking at equality as like right because I'm your
but take the point
protector,
is-
then we're not equal because you're not my protector. Like no, because you're my protector. That's your equal. But then I can protect you in a different way. So we are equal.
So we're basically.
So we are equal on that level as far as I'm
So
concerned.
I think the point is
So
then
in the
to
same
define
as
what
certain
equality
things-
in a
yeah,
relationship is.
exactly,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
because you can't. It's not just what you do to what I do. We have to be doing the same thing to be equal. No,
It's balance.
you could be. It's a balance, and that's what I feel. That's what equal is.
All right,
is being
right.
a balance.
Hear my point, yeah? Because and I'm gonna try and put this into a seesaw thing, yeah?
Okay.
I'm a big guy, yeah? I go to the gym once or twice. But yeah. But if I sit on the end of a seesaw and my wife sits at the end of the seesaw, she's going up, yeah? So she might have to take a little bit of extra baggage to level and get this balance that you're talking about. See, to me, yes, it is a balance, but it damn sure ain't equal. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand the point I'm trying to get?
But hold on.
Why
But hold
is it
on. 1 second. Because that's exactly what I was trying to say. We are confusing equality. All right, equality. If I think about equality, that means basically somebody is equal to me. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like you are my equal, regardless of what you have to do in order to be my equal. I see you as my equal. Do you know what I mean? So
That's just guessing though, bro.
no, it's not, because all of the roles. If you're deemed equal within the relationship, I can still be doing more than you. Do you know what I mean? But as a standing, we are equal.
on a balance.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't think I disagree with that. I don't think
I think you said enough.
Hold on, just one thing.
Let Marlon say this. Let Marlon say his
What
piece.
he's saying is no one's higher than the other.
I agree with that.
Everyone adds an equal amount
Yeah,
of effort,
of course.
but not necessarily the same roles, because that equality isn't necessarily
What
you do half
yeah,
this
you
role and I do half
yeah,
that.
no.
It's adding a balanced amount to the relationship.
Yeah.
What I think what's happened is where the problems have come in is the roles. So the gender
People
the gender,
are wanting
gender
equal on
specific
the
roles.
whole role. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, no,
exactly.
the
That's
gen-
not going to happen.
the
Because
gender
a man,
specific
of
roles.
course, is going to be your protector.
Just running the ship.
Sorry, your man is going to, you want your man to
Do we have any
protect
duct
you in
tape?
your house.
You said
So,
don't hold
no,
out.
sorry. I'm
That's
what
all
I
right,
mean.
that's all
I'm
right.
like the levels of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, everybody. So we put that into one thing. So, my man protects me on this. Right. And I might, I've got my man's back on that. So we're equal. I'm not looking at these,
Yeah, but
know,
what I'm
that
saying,
he's
though,
that's not the
protecting-
this is what I'm saying. That's not the point.
But what
I
I'm
don't
saying,
think that's the point.
what I'm saying is where the problems for me have come in is where the gender specific roles, the lines have been blurred. Yeah?
100%.
Where the stuff that men used to do, now women are having to do that.
For real.
There are a lot of family units where the father's not there. So the mum has to be the mum and the dad. Do you know what I mean? A lot of, without going deep, that like in the black community, the black woman is having to do a lot more than their counterpart. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, there's a build up of resentment, which leads to the problems. But in a relationship, your partner should be equal. You should see
Seen
your
as an
partner
equal, yes.
as an equal. But that doesn't necessarily mean
It's
to
not the
say
reality. But that's what- yeah, that's what we're saying.
but you're for me. I think you're thinking of it in terms of the roles and the tasks and blah blah blah. If I can do 80% of the work, but I see my missus as equal.
But that's just
Yeah, but it's not.
But you can see her as equal. You can see her.
Yeah,
That's what relationship is.
the work.
That's not equal.
That's
Sorry.
not even,
But bro,
even
it's never,
you.
alright. So then it's never been equal and it never will be.
But it has never been equal. That's the whole point of this. That's the point.
Yeah,
No.
but there are people in relationships who view each other as that is my equal.
No,
Okay, sorry, can I just make this point? Sorry,
One
can I
second.
just make this point?
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Darren.
How do you determine
Hold on 1 second, yeah? Right. You made me forget the point I was going to
Please.
make. Wait there. But no, it's coming back to me now. What you're trying to say is that it's like, what is the issue? What is the point of us talking then? If the fact of the matter is, I can say to my wife, I see you as my equal.
It's not the
Yet you are not. This is what I'm saying. Yet you are not performing as my equal. And this is not me trying to say what I'm saying. I'm giving this as an example. Listen, I got my wife's eyes burning into me right now.
Question to you.
Yeah,
You see your wife as equal, right?
correct.
Cool. And that's not. I'm not trying to catch
Yeah,
you.
I have to be very, very clear.
Eyes on
Yes.
you.
Alright, so my next question to you is now, is it 50-50 in terms of everything that you guys do? Be honest. Is it?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
Of course not.
So therefore,
And
but
I
you're
don't-
still equal, but
Right.
but whoever's doing
Are you
This is what I'm trying to say.
No,
That's the point,
From a
Aaron.
sense of-
But you were
Right.
talking about 80-20.
If
80-20.
No,
One second,
I'm
one
sorry.
second. Alright,
Okay.
Can we get one talking at a time?
Sorry.
Let's get one at a time. One at a time.
If
Go on,
we're looking at the point of these gender specific roles, right? And if we're looking at the main ones of the man providing and the woman staying in the home and looking after the children and taking care of the home, right? I think the reason why there's a problem with those things and why some people say it doesn't work is because the men and the women, and I don't know who starts it, don't see each other as a team. It's like a competition. How much do you earn? How much do you earn? Right? When actually, if you're together, we're
That
earning.
shouldn't matter.
We are earning. So if I'm earning 50 and you're earning 30, we're earning 80, right?
Yeah,
But
totally agree.
that's not how people perceive it. And to be fair, on the most part,
That's not how
it's
some
not
people perceive
how
it.
some
Some
men
people do.
perceive it more so than women, because it's your role that seems to be taken away at the moment, right? So you're the ones that are feeling threatened by it. So when it comes to discussing how much each other earns, somewhere in the man's mind sometimes it's like it's a competition. Oh, my wife or my girlfriend's earning this, I need to do something about it.
I
It's
disagree.
competitive.
You got. I've got to
Sorry.
make a point brief. I've
Please.
got to get these guys involved as well.
Okay,
Go on, make a
why
point.
do you disagree? Can
I'm
I just
gonna
make
get
a
to
point?
that. Don't
Let
you
me
worry about
just
that.
make a point. Okay, so for instance, I'm just making an example. So for my point is, Okay, so if your man is staying at home, like if you're a stay-at-home dad and you're looking after your kids and whatever, I still feel you're equal because do you know what? Childcare costs and all of those things. Your woman's going out to earn her hard money, right? Fine. You're at home playing house as what a woman does, and so I think that's equal. Equal because childcare is gone. I want a cleaner, I want a house, I want to cook. And when I weigh up the
So you think I'm going to be home?
So you're at home doing your shit. You're doing.
Hold on.
Then-
No,
Hold on.
Clearly-
Sorry,
So
guys.
clearly,
One second.
I'm bringing it.
I just want to take the time
I'm
out to
bringing it to the
realise
table.
Craig is creaming his elbows.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I caught a glimpse of my
I wanna
elbow
highlight-
on the screen, yeah, and I was like, whoa.
So you'll
I was
be
thinking
comfortable.
that you lot could talk and I could just keep it doing.
You'll be comfortable with the guy just staying home as a stay-home dad. Bruh, come on.
Yeah, you know what? Because do you know what? Like I said,
A man can't be, for me,
No,
should not be
no.
comfortable staying home being a stay-home
no,
dad.
I wouldn't be
It's
comfortable
all-
that
it's
he's
all- it's all further than
comfortable.
talking about
I wouldn't
roles.
be
But,
comfortable that he's
This is
comfortable.
cool.
So there's a level of that, yeah. Because if he's comfortable in that, I think you don't want better for yourself. Not better, but more for yourself.
I get you.
Okay. Than what the situation is. That's all I'm saying.
But
so
you-
I'll be
hold on,
okay.
hold on.
But I'll be okay because do you know
I'm-
what?
I'm gonna-
Childcare. And
I'm gonna
the
try.
cost of
I've got
those
to try and
things
get
is
these
a lot.
guys involved.
Sorry,
Yeah,
okay.
these are our audience. Yeah,
Sorry,
say hello to our
I forgot.
audience.
Hi guys,
There you
sorry,
go.
I
This is
forgot
cousin
you're
Kate.
Sorry, we're
here.
gonna yeah.
I'm sorry, they should have never
Right,
brought me
listen,
here.
and we're giving her a rating as well. So yeah, hey. Right, Anton, yo, tell the pan to smile, man. What's going on, my peeps? Yeah. Right, Carlene has said it's nice to see some females. I've got to read quite a few now because we've been talking. Right, Nisha has said depends if it's a first date. After that, I will pay at any time. You better put that LOL. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, Nick.
You don't want to say this, but I don't believe it.
Shakira has said I think there are plenty of women that go out with a man and expect them to pay 100%.
Yeah,
I think that
with the
is-
majority.
Stop that shit. Girl.
Oh, hold on. Carlene has just come back and said, I did, and we are soon to get married. I think that was in regards to the question of, would you get down on one knee and propose?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to you, Carlene. You know
girl,
what?
well
And
done,
she, oh, you did it
girl.
on a leap year. Ah,
Yeah, you
I
did,
just put your
girl.
ratings down a bit. Just do it when you want to do it, innit? Don't want to give you no leap year.
Yeah,
But
you
ratings,
did.
man.
I rate that.
And they've been together for 8 years, yeah? Listen, successful
done,
black
girl.
marriages, yeah, we can
Big
do
up
it.
yourself. Big up yourself.
Yeah? I'll be cool if you love that. We love that. Yeah?
I wouldn't tell anyone that, mum.
Right. Well said. Carlene said, well said, Marlon. I think that was in regards to a duct tape comment. Yeah?
Me?
keep it-
That was me, Carrie. You want me duct tape
I'm
me?
saying nothing. Let's carry on. Right. Antonio said you cannot ask to be protected but still be equal. The government have put women on a pedestal, and I think things should go back to the good old days. Too much Indians and no chiefs.
No.
Hey!
What are you talking about?
See, this is what I'm saying when I say that
seriously, have
comments
you got a woman?
to play such a
Is
big
your
part
woman
in
watching
this.
this?
The man
Anton?
said
Is your
too
woman on
many
your
Indians
Facebook
and
page?
no chiefs. That is
Does
bars,
your woman
bro.
know about you, Anton, on Facebook right now? Your comments.
But the thing is, I agree with him to an extent. I'm not too sure about government putting them on a pedestal, but in terms of women, like one of them said earlier, women are now in a position where they can earn as much or earn more, and it has totally changed the dynamics of a norm of what we grew up as a normal relationship.
Yeah, but then
but
you
your woman
grew
can still
up.
earn
You
more than
hold
you.
on. Sorry, can I just make this point?
You're
you
gonna make
grew
it.
up. Sorry,
Okay, go
I'm
for
so
it.
sorry. You
I'm
grew
gonna get
up.
duct tape in a
Alright,
minute.
let's.
Yeah? Nah, carry on.
Sorry. I'm so
So,
sorry.
we'll edit it
Okay,
out.
you grew up thinking that it's okay for a man to pay for everything.
Yeah.
And a man to do all of this. So what's the problem now that women can do that for a man?
There isn't a problem.
So, but
Okay,
that's what you grew up in. Okay.
For me,
It is a
I have no
problem to an
problem with
extent.
my woman earning more money than me if she does. However, I still need to be able to manage and look
Would
after
you be
everybody.
bitter?
No, if I can still look after everybody, I've got no problem with that.
Okay,
If
but
I'm on
if
some
you
$6 grand a year and she's on 40 and I can't look after everybody, then we've got a problem.
Right.
You
I
guys
have
don't
no
think-
issue with my
okay.
woman making more money than me. But I have an issue with, as a man, not being able to provide for my family.
Okay.
And not being, or take fun now.
'Cause you're
If
meant
if
to
I
be
can't
the
look
sole
after, if I can't
provider.
look after my woman and she's treating me like some.
But that's what you've been,
like
been
some
made
side
to
dish,
believe
like
that
shit.
you're meant to
Like,
be the sole
I'm a
provider.
man. I should never have to be looked after financially by a woman. That's just how I see it.
No,
I don't think
understand.
financially I should ever be looked after for women. Yes, in
Because
a
that's what
household,
you've been brought
I want
up
a
to
woman.
believe that you're the
I want my
sole
woman to do the
provider.
majority of the cooking. I'm
It's
not
a
lying.
conditioning. It's a conditioning.
Yeah, because
Hold
that's
on,
what I'm
please.
just sorry.
I
You
said,
want your
in a
woman to do the
household,
majority
I
of
want
the
my
cooking.
woman to do the majority of the cooking.
Okay.
I believe I'm happy with those roles. I'm happy.
Likewise.
Listen, I'm not a man that can't cook. I will cook for you, but I'm not doing the majority of the cooking. Like as far as I'm concerned, there are certain roles that are made for women,
Gender
are made for men.
specific.
So like Ben was saying about when you come in with the shopping and I'm carrying them. Yes, I'm a man. I should be carrying them because
Physically, you're
physically
stronger.
it just makes sense.
Right, I get your point with regards to the cooking and you prefer the woman to cook every day, and some circumstances allow for that. If you're both
I'm not saying
working
every day.
full time,
Yeah.
how does that
we
pan out?
Yeah.
Are you
find
still
the
expecting her to come
balance.
home,
No.
look after the home, and cook more
That's
than
not-
well?
Yeah.
No, there will have to be a compromise.
To me, that's not a gender specific thing in terms of the cooking. I think that's more circumstantial.
Yeah, that's why I
And you should have it. If you ain't got the ability, yeah, I'm kind of fucked. Because
Yeah,
really and truly, you now want it to be a
if I'm in
gender
a
specific thing because
position
you
where
can't cook.
where it just it's all about
And I
logical
think
thinking. Just like I say, I should do the carrying of the shopping. If I'm home earlier than she is, or
Or if
I
she's
work
hench.
from home,
She's hench, make her carry them bags.
if my girl is bigger than me,
Yeah.
The traps are nuts.
then it makes sense for her to carry the shopping. When she brings the shopping, I'm gonna look at her like, what?
That's what I'm trying to say. But I wanted to
But
go
I
back to your
think
point. I wanted to go back to your point and
Okay.
try to answer you because you said that in terms of the equality that men feel kind of a certain way about it, which has kind of brought this up. I think it's actually the other way around. I think that
Okay.
women have been held back for so long. Now that the playing field is becoming equal, it's almost like, well, we no longer want to be put in any sort of corner or have any sort of label because now we are your equal because we put so much
It's definitely a
emphasis.
feminist movement.
We put so much
It's
emphasis on
definitely a feminist
finance as being. I don't know, like the dictator for status. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that that's coming on an even playing field, it's like, well, all right, cool. Well, I want to lift more than him in the gym as well. I want to watch football when he don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's just things where I just think certain times where women, I don't want to say women have no place. I just said it. Yeah, but it's just almost like
talk the thing, man.
no,
Yeah,
it's just
so
almost
it's
like women want to be men in some ways. And
that's
there are certain women who
And
want
that's
to be
sad.
men.
It's
That fucks up
sad.
relationships,
That's
right?
sad.
Well,
It
this
is.
is what I'm
That's
saying.
sad.
That is
One
sad.
sec, guys, one
Okay,
at a time.
to
Because
respond
I
to,
can
like,
carry
your
my-
point,
Let me
what
ask you.
you're-
Yeah, go on,
what
let us
you're
run.
saying in terms of that, I think that what you're talking about there is more of an attitude towards these roles and whether or not, you know, like you're saying that women sometimes actually lord it over guys. Yeah, I think some women do, and I think in every single area of life you're going to have some people that go to the full extreme and that actually the power in that position goes to their head. It's no different than some managers that you'll have on a power trip and some managers aren't, right? It comes down to the individual. And I think that the people that you see on social media or out there, the loud people making the noise, maybe they do portray that image, right?
Yeah.
They do. Maybe they do portray that image, but it's not the majority of women that think like that. And I think that because it's out there and there's so many things about independent women and, you know, feminist movement,
Too
there's
much.
so many celebrities
Don't
there
say
that we
that
follow,
topic.
right,
Don't say
that are preaching that. I think that we're all now being tarnished with the same brush. So when you're coming at us, which is why I'm saying that the men are doing it, when you're coming at us, you're coming at us on a defensive, like we're all thinking the same thing and we're actually not. Like some of us do just understand and respect that maybe your career doesn't allow you to earn a certain amount of money and we can actually still respect you as a man because for us it's not what defines you,
It's
so
our
for
majority.
sure your ability to provide.
Sorry, hold on.
I don't feel like
Okay.
enough women
Think
have that
like that.
mindset.
I don't think
No,
that's
but
I don't
true.
you
feel,
know
I don't
what?
feel like enough of you have that
Okay,
mindset.
One
sorry.
second. We're going to have to let the
Sorry.
news speak.
Sorry. I
Fine.
think it's very sad when you see people on Instagram or Facebook and post a picture they built a like chest of drawers or something and say, "Who needs a man?" That's sad that you even have that thought process that you needed a man to build the chest of drawers in the first place for you to make that comment. And that is how we've been conditioned to
I just think you look like an
believe.
arsehole when you do that, personally. Like,
Yeah,
if you're a
why
woman and you
do-
post like,
yeah,
I put together
because
just
you know what I do, what I do. The same way as yeah, I might have a heavy bag, and if my man comes along and he's like, "Oh, you got the shopping," I can handle my shopping, but yeah, take my shopping. That's fine.
No,
That's
I
okay,
agree.
and I can handle it if I needed to.
I just think
I'm
we're
holding, so
on
we
a
need
we're on
that,
a
we're
cusp
cool.
of women being treated like a
Yeah, but I
lady
think that's
because
we've
of
been made. No,
this
we've
want
been.
this
I
grasp
think
of
women
equality.
have been made to have to up their game, like and I think it's publicized and it's out there that wow, who needs a man? Who needs a man? No, that's really sad because you know what? Yeah.
But the thing about it is,
Yeah,
but the thing about it is, alright, you guys might look at it that way, but there are a lot of women out there who are getting influenced by these Instagram posts, or getting influenced by these
and thinking,
Especially the younger
and
generation.
they're sitting there thinking, and it's sad for the younger generation
because the media have a
and that's
feminist
what I'm
movement
saying.
agenda.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
unfortunate, even down to like the tradition of the being conditioned to tradition of
Whoa,
like right,
what?
okay,
Whoa.
no, being conditioned
Yeah.
to tradition,
Whoa.
tradition of the
Spitting
men.
bars.
Right, listen, hold that traditional
Hey,
thought
hey.
here.
I don't even know what you were trying to say, bro.
Hey, the condition of the tradition that you're speaking
Part-time
about.
rapper. Part-time rapper.
Wow.
Hold on,
All right, let me just.
tradition to condition.
It's funny you just said that because I just wanted to put the hashtags out there. Guys, obviously when you guys, a lot of people tend to agree with Darren. I don't know why. I think he's a dick some of the times. He says some
Darren,
stupidness.
I'm
Second,
really
yeah.
like
But
that,
obviously,
Darren.
we got the hashtag Be More Like Darren. You might see it in the comments if you're
Yeah,
on
I
Facebook.
get
Hashtag Only Rakes, and then hashtag Is the Pan Right? And you got hashtag Devil's Advocate, which is obviously myself. If you do agree with me, like most of you do, innit? Like you can just put it out there now, innit? So it's just one of them things. Let me just read a couple comments because I like to keep people involved.
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, Shakira has said, totally disagree with Denise. Sorry. That's actually in there. That's actually in there. That's yeah. I would not pay on the first date, especially if he asks me out. As a relationship goes on and we become aware of each other's financial circumstances, then we can make relevant arrangements as to who does what,
And that's like most
where,
things that I'm
and when.
Alright.
1 second.
No, I just say
Yeah.
after that I want to pick up on that, but yeah.
I've had experiences where I've paid and the man has actually felt emasculated, and on another occasion he was totally offended.
Yes.
No, we have.
I do not. 1 second. You gotta let me finish these. I do not agree there should be equality. I do not agree there should be equality. Yes, I'm with you. Everyone has roles to play in everything and every situation, whether that be work,
Yes.
personal relationships,
Yes.
friendships, etc. And
Go on.
You get
Yes,
it.
Shakira.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Big up yourself.
Sorry, Shakira, I'm giving my
And
own
see,
personal
and this is what I'm saying.
Sarah.
So you
Hold
just
on,
like
one
to
sec.
agree with you, yeah?
Yes, that's what I like. Yes.
And this is what I'm saying. This is where the problem comes in, because obviously, like, people are split. You've got your traditional people who are brought up on a man should do this and a woman should do this, and then you got now your modernized millennials and blah blah blah, who feel like, you know what, I'm a woman, I'm gonna earn whatever I'm gonna do for myself. But it's in regards, it's all relative, because it's about expectations. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Expectation.
what you have going into a relationship, your expectations going into a relationship, and my expectations going into a relationship are going to be different,
Of course.
or could be different. So if you're thinking to yourself, do you know what, this is exactly how I want my man to be and behave, but that's more in line with the modern way, and your man is more a traditionalist,
Problems, isn't it?
that's where your problems are going to lie. So that's what I was saying before in regards to the blurring of the lines, where the gender specific roles are not what they used to be. That's where the problem comes in, and it's all about expectation.
And
I
listen,
think you need to
hashtag
do
people
that.
like Darren, yeah. I said you chat shit before.
I-
That was
I
actually, no, you
really
actually put that
like
very
that,
well. And
Darren.
that was, you know,
Hashtag
honestly.
Darren.
What are we saying?
No, no, serious. No,
No.
hashtag be. I just said it. You
Sorry.
can't just mess up the hashtag.
Hashtag be more like Darren. Hashtag be more like Darren.
Right, listen, let me read
Well,
out a couple
Darren,
more. Let me read a couple
guys.
more. Someone cut the rate. Yeah, a relationship is all about energy. A woman earning more money than her man creates an imbalance in energy. I told you no peaking. Which leads to a power struggle. Equality is great. A woman can and must, capital letters, have her own. But,
Hey.
capital letters, the roles in the home must stay fundamentally traditional.
Interesting.
Hey, big up yourself. Big up Paris, yeah? Big up yourself. Round of
Hey,
applause.
we saw it.
Yes.
She's also gone on to say, I would never pay for a first date, or second date, or third date for that matter.
My
Right.
girl.
You're not getting a fourth
But
thing.
you know,
Right, right.
She might get it.
That's where the
No,
chat
I think everybody's
No, it depends
I
how
think
she gets
everybody's
across.
like,
Pay for the date.
It depends how she comes across.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
She comes across like she's
Sorry.
tight. Are you mad?
You know
First,
what?
second, and third, and shit.
Sorry.
Hey,
Well,
just
I
can't
need to
even
get
go
one
for her
talk at a
back.
time.
You real angry right now, bro.
There's a misinterpretation
That's a rule, though. I have a
right
rule.
here.
I have a
Alright,
rule.
I think
Go on,
everybody's
go on, Denise.
misinterpreted what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not saying.
Clear it up shortly.
What I'm basically saying to you, right, is.
No, so go on, carry on.
So, I'm not saying, no, don't pay for your, that you expect the man to pay for a first date, and I'm not saying that, right, no men should pay for your first date. What I'm basically saying to you is, I don't think we should, as women, go out there on the precepts that men have to pay for my first date. No, it's an equal thing. Like,
Do you know what we call this on Grown Ups Men?
we've
On
met
Grown Ups
up.
Men, we call this moonwalking.
This is
Yeah,
this is definitely
backtracking.
No, I'm not
definitely
backtracking.
are.
Because I said that I would offer, like when we got the bill, if we're on a date, when the bill comes, I'm gonna say, do you want me to give you half?
You said that
If
you
you-
pretend and you in hope they didn't say it. That's what you
No,
did.
yeah, okay.
Exactly.
And if you don't say that,
So, but Darren's point remains. You still had an expectation.
no,
What, yes, you-
personally,
Yeah,
I
you just
don't-
want to
No,
come.
you
So
said
I did
you
Neo
didn't want to pay.
emails.
Right.
You go, which is the one?
Right, let me read out a couple more comments and we can kind of go from there. Right. Nisha said equality is about both adding value to the relationship. That's a good point.
That's a good angle.
Yeah, I like that. I like that angle. Yeah, it sways away from what we're actually trying to tackle, but I like the angle. I can't hate on that. Right, Shakira said, fact, men are stronger than women. What's wrong with them assisting with doing things manually? Or what has happened to the chivalry?
Right. See, alright. Chivalry is kind of dying. Like, let's
No, but alright, cool.
How can you argue that?
No, I'm not going to argue that. But what I'm going to say is the reasons behind chivalry dying. Yeah? Because for me, I've got a view on this. Yeah? I've got a view on this. I personally think chivalry is dying because men aren't what we used to be in terms of traditionally. However, for me, yeah, if I don't necessarily want to. Right, if you're not acting a certain way, or if you're not presenting yourself a certain way, or being a certain way, why am I going to want to be chivalrous to you? Why?
So are you saying
So what I'm saying is the women, yeah, also play a role in this, and they have responsibility to
I
make
agree with
men
that.
want to be
I agree
chivalrous.
I agree with
I
that. But if
agree
you
with
get a lady
that.
that's
I
a lady
agree
now,
with
and you're
that.
gonna go full hog, go around opening car doors, and you're gonna do that. I don't think you are. to be honest.
Well, boy, I ain't saying I'm gonna every time I get into the car, open the car door.
No.
However, if she's a lady, it's gonna make me want to be more chivalrous.
Listen,
Your hands work. I've seen you beat my kids. That's all good now. I'm playing. But you can well be
chivalry is dead because I don't really want to go down this road because it's totally going off topic. But chivalry is dead because of ease. Because women make it a lot easier for men nowadays. We don't need to work as hard.
Yeah.
So we
I
have
agree
more
with
options.
that, yeah.
So if you want
You
me
would
to be like total like opening up doors and shit and not paying for no dinners and shit, I'll be like, well, fuck that. I'll go on to the next one, and it's that easy.
And you do.
Whoa, there's no need for
Whoa,
that.
sorry.
There's no need for that.
I don't know. You cut it out.
But that's the reason for the end of chivalry, because we men do not need to work as hard as they used to.
I totally agree.
And it's
I
because
agree
women
with
have
that.
dropped their
I agree
standards
with-
in a general sense.
I agree with that,
I-
and I'm a
I agree.
woman. I agree.
But
Yes.
sorry, I want to go on something Darren was saying before.
Go on then.
About the change in like traditions and the reason why we don't have equality anymore. Most of the reason is I believe is because of single parents and so on. So many single mothers out there kind of having to do the two roles that you was talking about, having to be the father role and everything, and over the years promoted it and talked about it, and the next generation have grown up with that mentality. So now when you see women now talking about they can do this, they can do that in a relationship, it's because so many of our children and us, I guess, I initially grew up with just my mum, and that's what I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing my mum do everything in the house. So my sisters will see the same thing, and then so when they're in their relationships, that's the mentality they
It's
go
enough
in with.
for us to break that though and show you kids different
It
things.
is, but you have to understand that that may be something that comes after this generation that we're seeing now. That
When you say-
generation.
when you say
No,
us-
but you know what it is?
But-
I've got to say,
because
I think we're
that's
too
what
accepting.
we're used to.
It's almost like, how can I say, like, let's say someone who's been underprivileged and had and seen their mum work 5 or 6 jobs, yeah? They are not taking that and thinking that's normal. They are respecting the fact that their mama was extraordinary and had to do certain things. But we are too accepting of the fact because it happens repeatedly. It's like, well, that should be considered.
No,
normal.
but yes, they see that their mum was extraordinary, but you have to understand,
It's what they see.
they're raising that, and they aspire to
They
be,
will get-
they
they will
aspire to be
become-
like
Yeah,
their mum.
so then
So when they go
as a
into their
female, you're
relationship,
gonna be
they
like,
want to be
yeah,
just
I'm
as
gonna
strong
be
as their
the-
mum was.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
I
so
get that.
I
You've
get
got
that.
to at some point break that. You've got to realise that that ain't the right way to
how
do things.
a woman is
How?
raised,
Why do you have to
a
do
woman
that?
is raised
What do you mean?
seeing
Why?
her mum like
Because you can
How
see
come?
in
One
society
at a
the
time, one at a time.
relationship
Rakes, finish your point. Go on.
a woman that's raised like that, that's seen her mum be like that, and she's aspired to be like that. How do you say no? Be weaker. Be softer.
No, it's
I
not
don't
that.
see if it comes
No,
down to
no, as a man, you have to
One
be
second,
your
let's
man.
go on.
But the point he's
Yeah, I
making
don't
though
think
is,
it comes down
How-
to weakness or
no,
strength.
right,
though.
but what I'm
That's
saying
it.
is, if you've grown up to have a certain mentality and a certain strength about you, how
Yeah, but that
how
comes down
do you
to the
get how do you
attitude
how do
of
you
the-
then change
the
someone
mother
and
in
say
that
no,
home,
actually
because-
don't do the responsibilities that you've seen your mum grow up and that all you're used to.
So for me,
As an adult,
But the
how
thing is,
do you
I
say
don't
change
think-
that mentality?
No, you
I don't think it's about
something
when you grow up in a home like that, then you grow up thinking, oh, well, I'm a woman, so I need to be strong because my mum raised me and my brothers and sisters alone. I grew up in a home where my mum did work, but she's also still quite traditional in some ways, you know, like she cooks, she cleans, she looks after the house, she looks after the kids,
So,
you know what I mean? So she does all of that
and you
stuff.
followed in her
but-
footpaths, right? In terms of the way she is, in terms of general core beliefs, would you say you followed in her footsteps?
I think I take after my mum and dad, to be honest, in
Right.
different ways.
Exactly, but what
So
mom is saying is what the child
Mum,
sees.
mum,
It's
mum,
what the
mum.
child
no,
sees.
but that's what I'm saying. I understand
No,
a
but
child
the thing
sees
is,
certain things
but I
like
think-
that,
I just
but
think
you
this is
have
how
to
it-
at some point make a change. If you, like, for example, if you grow up with your mum as a single mum all your life and then she's a single mum, you've got to look back at it and think, well, why has she been like that all the time? Just I mean, why?
No,
And you have to.
I think you're simplifying it too much. I think it's too easy to say, oh, you've got to look and realise you've got to change. It doesn't necessarily.
It's not an easy thing to change, but you have to realise at some point that in order for things to work, some things have got to change.
Once you get to a certain stage in life,
But
which
now,
is,
the
which
thing
is,
is, now we're talking about like
I'm just
single
gonna-
parenthood and not like, yeah.
I'm going to try and take it to the comments. Hi guys, thanks for staying involved. Right, Zara said, when it comes to gender specific roles, this is Zara, yeah? I do understand what both sides are saying. Unfortunately, in this day and age, it is very difficult for one person to be the sole provider for a family. This being the case where both parties need to work and financially contribute, the gender roles need to shift from traditions. Can accept that. Unfortunately, from what I have seen, most men allow their... This is where this is me off. I'm going to read it. Unfortunately, from what I have seen, most men allow their pride and ego in regards to finances to come before the success and good of the relationship.
Happens.
A woman will only submit to a man when they can wholeheartedly trust the man. A lot of women don't see that in men anymore. So if she doesn't see that in you, she will not follow. You know what, Zara? I'm going to give you a little round of applause.
I agree.
Truly, I think she put across her point very,
I
very
wasn't sure where she was going before about men's pride and the ego, but talking
I
about the
understand
trust,
the
I
thought
actually get what
process.
she's saying.
I'm not going to agree with that bit though.
But I don't agree.
I'm not going to agree with pride.
Exactly.
I agree.
I'm not saying there are no men that do that.
I understand the
Because
thought
that's
process.
what it comes down
I'm not saying there are no men like that, but I don't think the vast majority of men like that.
no, but
I think a lot of
I think
men
you're
are
wrong. But
like
I think
you're wrong.
I think it's too. Once again, simplifying it. It's too easy to say it's just pride. If we are raised and grown a certain way that a man's role is this, this, and this, and then that's what we base ourselves on
But
kind of
then
being.
what
One
should-
second. That's what we base ourselves on being on a good man. You know what I mean? Like. If sorry, if somebody, but then if somebody then comes and takes away those roles, what you kind of measure yourself on in terms of being a good man, not solely, but that's what you use, yeah. Then obviously it's going to affect you.
It's
It's
emasculating.
going to affect you. If somebody comes and takes away what you used to consider yourself as a good woman, then you're going to be like, well, hold on a minute, like.
I do
Where-
get
No,
that.
but I don't
where do
think
I
it
go
affects
now?
me. But I think, you know, in this day and age, you need to define yourself on a lot more things than whether or not you earn more money or whether or not you
No,
stay
but it's
home.
not
Yeah,
necessarily
that's
about
why
no,
it's
people
really
do
not
feel
about
sorry, but
money.
it's money.
It's not
It's the
money.
roles that you've been grown up to
Yes.
think that
Yeah,
you
but the thing
that
is,
you
yeah,
are what you represent.
the reason behind the role of providing, right? It's a financial role. It's not just a role that's
it's
out
not,
there.
but
that's
yeah,
separate
because
money.
men
no,
are
no,
meant to
no.
go out to
It's a
work
financial
and
role.
women are meant to stay at home. That
No,
was
you're
like
But it's not just
yeah,
about
but-
providing
men were a
financially.
provider.
It's about giving your family direction. It's more than just here's the
No,
money.
It is
Well,
a lot.
yeah,
It is a
that's
lot.
it.
Yeah.
No,
One
it's-
second.
Of course it
If you
is that.
Denise, hold me. I'm gonna have to use the finger boy. Nah, that sounds nice. Marlon, make your
If
point.
you take away the money aspect of it, I don't think that. And you look at
Hey,
the
Marlon.
direction. I
Hey,
can
Marlon.
still
Oh, sorry,
no.
And I gotta say, I gotta put it out there. You've just done that classic sliding. Yeah, you took the bacon air. Carry on, make your point.
It's not
Go,
like
please.
Eye contact, like, what a
You
bishop.
can still, I think that as a man, you can still direct whether or not your woman's working. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that defines you as a man and the direction of where your relationship's going and
I don't
what
think
your
you would disagree
aspirations
with
are at all. So for me, I don't think it takes away anything from you whether you're the sole provider or not.
No, right, that's different. You changed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sole
You're like,
provider and
you
working
take
are
it.
not the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
If you're a sole
Okay,
provider,
no,
yes,
but
you are in a
even-
position to still dictate how things are going to go. But if you're the side man, yeah, and you ain't really bringing no
Side dish.
bread to the table,
Course.
you're not in a position to be saying, well, we are doing this next year. And
You've
you're not
lost
in a
your
position,
bargaining
you've
tool.
lost that,
You've
bro.
lost your bargaining tool.
You can't be.
Are you
can't
talking
bargain.
about if men don't work at all?
No, I'm talking about if I'm earning £6 a year, yeah, and you're earning 30,
Yeah.
I can't be telling you, well, yep, we're going to Barbados in December. I don't know. I don't dictate like that.
Well, we're in a balance because then you're at home with my
You lose that.
children and you're looking after the kids.
But that
and you're
means if
cooking
you
and
think
I gotta say
you
to you,
do
that,
that,
I gotta say
you're
to
taking
you,
where's the
men
level?
all right, so they go as
You're
well.
doing it. No, you're not like my skilly or nothing.
I'm not saying
You're
I
not
am.
You're not. I don't look at you down as that person.
So
No
are
one's
you,
saying
so
I'm
are you
working
gonna respect?
together,
One
so-
sec. Are you going to
Do you
respect
know
your
what?
man?
Right now.
If your man is earning £6,000 and you're earning £30,000, we're not just talking about
Forget
for a
respect.
short, for a
Yeah,
short
but
moment.
then you're
We're
at
talking about
home and you're
consistent.
doing every.
No
Not.
one owns it.
No,
Yeah, you know, I'm with
I
Listen,
want you to
listen.
aspire for better, okay? So I'm gonna push you. That's what, as your woman, I'm gonna push you to make sure that you earn more, and I'm gonna push you in the direction you want to go because I'm your woman.
Alright,
So right now the balance is I haven't got paid childcare, right? While you're at home with my kids because I ain't got paid that, so that's the problem.
Right, Denise.
Sort it out.
I've got to use the finger. I've got to use the finger on you.
So
No, but you're still talking. I've got. Crikey. Hey, listen.
Right, so
I shout out to Denise's husband, boyfriend, her uncle, her dad, her granddad, everyone.
My
ledge.
voice.
Your ledge.
You lot are big in the game. Big in the game. Sorry,
Listen, so you got, I'm earning 6 you're earning 30 grand, yeah? I can't tell you, let's go on a holiday. I have to say it like this. Can we afford to go on holiday? I've got to address that question up a little different. Rather than me just saying, look, we are going on holiday, I can't run at you like that. Because I've lost that position.
Your whole approach has to be different.
Yeah.
If we're so secure in our
We
relationship,
can be as secure as we
it's
want.
another level. No. If
I've
we're
still
so-
got to run it past you because it
there's
ain't
a
coming
level-
in my
there's
bag.
a balance in what we have, you know. I'm talking like on the real, yeah. It doesn't matter what you're earning to what I'm earning. If we're real in this and there's a balance to us and we have this understanding, I'm sorry, we're on the level. My money and your money, we're putting in the pot. So we have 36 grand. Can we afford to pay for a holiday?
Nah, listen,
No,
she's
no,
got a
no,
point.
No, I'm gonna be real. We have 36
No, yeah,
grand.
you've got a point.
Can we afford to go on holiday?
But-
We're having
but-
that discussion.
Yeah, but-
I might have a moment where I'm gonna be bitter
Yeah.
and I'm gonna sit down and think, right, oh my god, right,
But you know
I
what,
put more
what's
into
gonna happen
this,
is,
but
what's gonna happen is, yeah, you're earning 30 grand, he's earning 6 grand, right? You know, 6 grand. But somewhere along the line, resentment
have
is gonna
resentment.
kick
Of
in.
She
course,
just said it.
I said it. I told you
Resentment is a
that.
cancer relationship,
Of course.
trust me.
Listen, hear me out.
Of course, by the time
Denise,
we're
Denise,
doing it,
hear me out
by
1
the time
second.
we're doing that, I'm so secure in us,
Hey,
and we're meant to be
that
honest.
point,
That point I still had.
hey Denise, listen.
Just saying.
You absolutely, I've got to say, you absolutely crack me up. I've actually seen you
Sorry.
speak a sentence, take a break in the sentence, catch breath.
Let someone else walk and
and
jump
your
in.
mouth's still going, and then you come back, and I'm like,
Sorry,
wow, that's a
okay,
talent. No,
okay,
honestly,
okay,
don't let no one tell you
okay,
different. It's a
guys.
talent. Let me just read some comments here, because these are the viewers, yeah? Right.
Oh my gosh, I better read it
How many
quick.
brothers?
Right.
Three.
About me.
Hold on. Right. Nisha said, I love my girls. Ha ha ha. Yes. You laugh because you're over there. Yeah? You there.
Guys.
Right. Zara has said, I can't even lie. When it comes to first dates, I'm more than happy to pay if I ask him out. If not, then I do not expect him to pay. That being said, I would never leave my house without my money, as I know not everyone would have been raised in the same way.
Spends money,
One
baby.
second. Hey. Finger. I do not make assumptions over people's finances, so if I invite someone out, friend or otherwise, then I will always foot the bill. Not me.
Me too.
You're my brethren. We are going out. You
better bring your money.
You better bring your money. It's a respect and cultural thing, not this culture. But I get the gist of what she said, and I do, in most respects, agree. In terms of the first point, she said, if I ask somebody out on a date,
I understand.
I think that because I can't be going gauchos with Nando's money. It don't make no sense. Let me just carry on and get a few out. Yeah, you're taking a break. Go on, have a drink. Right. Carissa said, yeah, our core traditional beliefs stay with us in our adulthood unless you decide to take a look at it. And I messed up your comment. Let me read it again. Our core traditional beliefs stay with us in our adulthood unless you decide to take a look at it, at self, and change it. Get you?
Yeah, I agree.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Michelle said, yes, Zara. Yeah, all right, let's move on. Michelle has said, be more like Darren. He has a plan. When does someone not say that? Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, Carlina said, this should be about love, not money. Yeah?
Real talk.
Yeah.
No,
Next
no,
week.
you can't say that.
I think we're going on the pretense that the love is established. It's there.
yeah.
Yeah, really getting carried over. We're going to have to wrap this up soon, guys. Right. Michelle said, wasn't Marlon making this point? Time out, Denise. Yeah?
Thank you, Michelle.
Someone give me the duct tape! Get it, quick! And no
Oh
more
my
drinks.
God,
Right.
Guys, really?
Nisha has said, if you're a woman with ambition, I can't see you having a respect for a guy that earns significantly less.
No,
Capital
yeah,
letters,
turns
significantly less. Somewhere along the lines, you will start disrespecting.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to say that I actually agree.
Yeah, the
Because
perception,
when you meet
Yeah,
someone,
yeah.
your core beliefs and your ambitions have to be aligned somewhat. So yes, in terms of someone earning maybe 50 grand and then someone earning 10 grand, I think that's a factor in terms of you may not be incompatible. And I know it sounds shallow because it's money, but
I think
that's
like,
wrong.
when it's
True.
like that far apart, like something I would look for in a guy would be ambition, right? So where that might not concern me initially when I meet you is that there's an expectation there that because you're an ambitious guy and you've got direction, that's not going to stay the same
What
forever.
if field ain't got
It's
that
not
much
going to
to
be. Sorry.
What if his field of work hasn't got that room to grow? Like his room,
There's always room to
25
grow.
in his
He's
work.
reached
No,
the
no,
ceiling.
reached the
that
ceiling.
might not be.
You've reached the
Alright,
ceiling
you
in
have to
that
give me an example.
company.
There has to be something
with
that
those
there's
type
nothing
of
that's reached
skills
that ceiling in that.
No.
You just say you ain't doing your shit good enough.
You're starting on 6 grand, obviously 25 grand to you. There's a lot from there, isn't it? No, but you get what I mean? That's about a different characteristic. It's about drive. It's about ambition. It's about passion, right? You're not going to stay there and any guy that a woman attracts who is successful and who is career focused is naturally going to have those qualities as well because we look for that, right?
Yeah,
So
and then try and push you.
Can I make that point?
Three times the scene, but it's not as low as
Trying to
this.
say.
I'm not saying 6 grand.
Hello, people. Can I please make the point that I was trying to make earlier?
Oh, hold on.
man,
Let's
you broke it
yeah,
These are plastic
it's getting
cups.
emotional over there.
That's my table.
What
I
happened?
don't know, you don't even remember.
I don't even remember what I was talking
See, I knew it.
Right, listen, on that note, what we're going to do now?
No. I got
What's your point?
an example. Take that arm off.
Can you just tell everybody you're joking? Just tell everybody you're joking.
Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah.
He's aggressive.
I'm not aggressive. I'm passionate.
Go on, bro. Go on, say your thing, man. Go on, quick before you forget.
Shut up, man. Right. So we say again. You're holding up. Right. You lot was talking about roles changing and growing up, and then suddenly everything has changed, and you don't go with the same traditions that you usually go with. Let's say you have children, yeah, and automatically those children are to be nurtured, and their connection is automatically with the father. You would feel like your role and your responsibility that you've expected and grown up to have has gone. Like to suddenly have that position where you think, yeah, you know what, the children are going to look to me. I'm going to be the one that they come to. I'm going to be the one that that automatically nurture them, which most mothers do have that connection. If you saw like the transition automatically kind of go to the father, you would feel like as a woman something is missing.
You felt.
Yeah, felt.
No, they would feel that way. He's right. You would feel felt.
For a man to be in a relationship where he cannot provide for his woman is similar to that. You have grown to a certain understanding, to a certain expectation of how a man treats a woman, how a relationship goes. And yes, it may be conditioning, and yes, it might be out old school, old fashioned, whatever. But that is the expectation that we grow with. A woman losing that role that she's that expectation that she had is a similar thing.
I've experienced that firsthand. Like with the missus, like she was having arguments and so forth, and I just wanted her to shut up. So for me, I was on the line of, I'm happy to do everything in it. Like, but she wasn't happy with. I'm saying I'll do everything, all the housework. I'm happy to do it. I didn't want to be quiet. I don't want to hear the noise. Yeah, she's not happy with that because she's saying, look, well, you're taking away my role.
So you shouldn't be in another place.
That is what I think, Rick. I'm pointing out she wasn't cool with the situation because whilst she won't be doing anything, she didn't want to be not doing nothing. She wanted to do what she thought was her role.
Yeah, got you.
And that's fine, and that's down to the individual, I think, on both parts. If you feel like that, then I think it's your responsibility to seek out that partner that is happy for you to play that role on your own. If you want to be the sole provider as a man, then you need to be very clear when you are dating a woman that that's what you want to be. And actually, if you come across a woman who's not prepared to stop working,
you can't complain about it.
You definitely have to set your stall out from the get-go.
And that's right. The same thing that the example that you just made as well. Don't worry, Denise. We're going to do this thing called a wrap up. You're going to get to say your piece, and we're going to go around. And you're going to you're going first. What I'm saying to you on that is, if she's saying, well, that's her role, like in terms of like cleaning and she wants to be active and stuff. My thing is, cool, you can do that. Don't ever complain about doing it.
That was my thing.
Yeah. And the same goes for a guy as well. If you're proud, like, oh no, you don't pay for that date, cool. Like, if she wants to go gouge up, don't be complaining because you set your stall. That's how you kind of go on.
Once you set a precedent, you have 100% stick to it.
But listen, guys, we've been going on way too long. Yeah.
I feel like we've only been talking for 15 minutes.
I know. There's a couple of comments. There's a couple of comments that I do want to read out just before. Shout out to Lucy who's just locked in. Shout out to Shante as well. Right. Shakira said, influences at home will have an impact in all areas of thinking. That's natural. Fundamental values are generally instilled from childhood experiences. Depending on what you've been exposed to as a child will shape your thinking as an adult. And that goes for men and women.
Yes,
adult life experiences further define your character. So attitudes and relationships are formed from a combination of experiences. People never stop learning, exploring and gathering new information. 100%.
Shakira, top comment.
I can't really say that. I can't say no to that. I like to disagree with people as well sometimes, but I can't find it. And Michelle just said, #only rates. Finally, I totally hear you. #devil's advocate, take control. And I am going to do that because we are going to wrap up the show. Right. Starting with...
Go on, just keep it there.
Get it out of the way.
I'm playing. Listen, honestly, it's totally banter and everything. But Denise, if you can give us your final views, and no, this is not banter. I'm being real. Can you give us your final views about equality in relationship?
Make sure you get it wrapped up because when now people are talking, we don't.
Okay, guys. I just think for a perfect relationship and equality is just communication and balance. Simple as that.
No,
listen, you're not getting
I'm not having that.
I'm not going to jump in. No,
right,
seriously. We shut up enough now.
Right, Bianca, your time.
Yeah, I think, after the conversation, I still stand where I did in the beginning. I think that it's great if both people contribute to the household in terms of financially, just because it isn't financially viable to do it anymore in most cases where just the man goes out to work. And I do think, based on the comments that have come up today as well, that I still think I'm right in that when people don't understand what it takes to do each role, there is sometimes a lack of respect for what that role means, and it breeds problems.
Okay, Darren?
Equality, I don't think is based on, like I was saying before, I don't think it's based on how much you do in comparison to how much the other person does. I think if you set your stall out from the beginning and you're happy with what the other person expects from themselves and the expectations they have of you, then that's all that counts. I do agree with Denise, communication definitely is key. Communicate and just understand what that person wants from you and what you want from that person.
Yeah. So equality in relationships. I believe in equal amounts, equal efforts, equal value that each party has to the relationship. I don't agree on equal roles. So, you know, there are certain things in a relationship that a man is, you know, mainly gonna take control of. There are certain roles in a relationship that a woman is gonna take control of. But I feel like the value in balance should be, you know, near enough equal as we can get it. Nah, seriously.
Don't give him a look.
I was gonna help you out.
Nah,
you
Briggs.
know?
You love a detour, man. Nah, seriously. You go.
I was gonna jump in.
Great. You can say it.
I agree with vast majority of what Rachel said. I think I disagree with Darren with regards to things being equal doesn't make equal equality. I think that for me, equality is when everything is down the line of everything, and I don't think a relationship can work like that. I think it is generally unbalanced when it comes to those things. However, how Denise described it with bringing balance from other areas, I do agree with that. But for me, it isn't equality in a relationship. It's just balance, and I think they're two different things.
I've got to say, I think I'm with Dwayne on this one. Weirdly, I don't normally agree with anyone, but yeah, I'm with Dwayne on this one. I don't think that there should be equality, and I think the measures of equality are the things that you do, you know, and that's how I look at it. It's hard to put the measures on what you do to make it equal. So I can only look at the things that you actually do, and I know this might sound like gibberish. You got to look at the actual, not just physical things, but everything that you do within a relationship. Is that 50-50? No. Am I happy with that? Yes, I'm happy with the fact that it's not equal. I take and accept my responsibilities as a man, that I should take the load in terms of responsibilities. Can I do some of the things that my wife does? No. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to look at that and say they are equal, then all right, cool, I get it in that sense. But in terms of, think about my seesaw thing. I was quite happy with that. Yeah, that analogy was actually, that was quite good. Yeah, no, I was happy. Now, because sometimes I put analogies out there and I'm like, oh, why did I say that? That was a good one. I'll put back on that. I like that. And this is what it is. So I accept the fact that I am a man and I have responsibilities of that. And I am traditional in that sense. Not a caveman, because we both work hard, equally as hard. Yeah, arguably, you could say that she worked harder than me. So, yes, I will come home and cook sometimes, but she's a better cook. Yeah, I can admit that. So, if we get in 5 minutes of each other, guess who's gonna be cooking? Yeah, it's just one of them things. But yeah, I just think in terms of just you know, on a serious note, in terms of equality in a relationship, how I interpret the actual thing, I would say that there shouldn't be. Yeah? Listen, we're going to wrap it up there. Hashtag be more like Darren. Don't do that shit. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the rest of it. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, man. We're gone.
Please, can you break me through the whole condition of the recondition?
Yeah, we're still live. So yeah,
Condition of the condition.